Hey, good morning. Just adjusting my camera. Hopefully that stays. What is up? What is happy Friday? Happy Name That Player Day. We're going to play some trivia today. We're going to play Name That Player. Some house updates. I've got, I think that's about it. So, what's happening? Happy Friday. It's going to be a good weekend. Card show weekend, Janesville this Sunday. See me there. I'll have my bargain boxes. I'll have supplies. I haven't checked the tracking. Oh, speaking of tracking, I haven't checked my tracking for my team bags, so I may have team bags on Sunday. Speaking of tracking, this was a nice little surprise. Yesterday, I received a tracking update. Oh, wrong email. I received a tracking update from Topps regarding my Bowman 2023 Bowman. It has shipped. Where in the hell is that email? Email. Come on, there it is. Topps shop. Here we go. So it shipped UPS, which I like. UPS is much more accurate than FedEx. However, error. Tracking information is not currently available. So looks like they just printed the label, and hopefully it ships next week. I think the official release date is April 26th. Hopefully it ships before. Hopefully they actually put it on a truck before the 26th so I can get it on release day. So that's exciting. I was going through, actually when I was at my mom's house a couple weeks ago, she had that bin, and I found the NBA Live game. What else? I found some other Sega games. I found some CDs. Now, normally it's like, CDs. Well, there was a bunch of like mix CDs from like the early 2000s that I made. But there were some that I found of interest. One of them I've been looking for. It's the Pearl Jam bootleg CD from a concert I went to in 2003 in Champaign at the University of Illinois. I had the original. The original was stolen out of my car at a nightclub called Stars and Stripes in Davenport, Iowa. I had like 300 back. Yeah, I had like those giant CD binders. So I had like 300 CDs stolen. My fancy removable faceplate. I didn't remove the faceplate, so they yanked the whole stereo out. And this was before like cameras, like cell phone cameras and stuff. So I didn't even get pictures of it. Well, I'm sure the Davenport police probably do, but never found my CDs, never found my stuff. They broke into my driver's side window. So we left our coats because we were going to the nightclub. You're not going to wear your coat into the nightclub. We were young and dumb. Like now at 40, it's like, I am going to take my coat and use coat check, right? That's what we think of as adults. But when you're 20, you don't think about it. Like, I'm just going to leave my coat in the car. Well, if somebody busts your car open and steals, it was a puffy orange coat. Bright orange is what I had. My buddy had his coat stolen. He also had, for him, the worst part was he had taken the, I don't even know if these are legal, the radar, like to detect police ahead. So he had one of those that was stolen. That was his dad's. So he had to confront dad, radar detector was stolen. That was a shitty deal. But what might've been the shittiest deal was Davenport, Iowa to Anawan, Illinois is about almost an hour. Cause Stars and Stripes, where was that at? Stars and Stripe was on 53rd, I think. So we're looking at 45 minutes probably. This was also, I think it was a few nights before Christmas. So somebody got a nice Christmas present, courtesy of me getting my shit stolen. But it was like 20 degrees. And when you're doing like 70 down the interstate, with a smashed out window gets a little cold. My buddy was driving because I had a few beverages. So another friend was driving, and I remember getting to the was it the I-74 bridge that crosses the Mississippi? I don't what yeah I-74 bridge, because 53rd, boom, to the interstate. So we were crossing the interstate bridge, and I remember him saying, Can you pull my sleeves up over my hands? I can't feel my hands." And this is like 10 minutes into the drive. We still have 30, 40 minutes to go. So that was, when was that? I don't even think I was 21 yet. I think I was 20. I do remember I had just started. I think I had just started working at the radio station. The first radio station I worked at, like maybe the week before, because I remember telling the afternoon drive guy, because I was like shadowing him for a couple weeks. Speaking of radio, I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but speaking of radio, I also found this Rams camp reports. So this was from 2003 or 2004. For whatever reason, it says Kurt Warner, Jimmy Kennedy, Kirk Farmer, Jeff Wilkins, Mark Bulger. None of those are on this actual CD. Actually, no, Mark Bulger is. So I worked Rams training camp because it was in Macomb, and that's where I worked in radio. And the first 2 years I was there, I would cover Rams camp. It was like the dream job. Like mornings and afternoons, I was just watching NFL training camp day in, day out for 3 weeks or whatever it is. So I would do these Rams camp reports. And this CD was for one of our sister stations. Shout out Canton, Illinois. That's where these were being played, on WBYS. So the camp reports, I'm going to try to get these. I think this computer does have a CD-ROM drive. My computer upstairs does not. So I'm going to try to get these, and I'll upload them to YouTube. They're just like 90-second hits. So it's basically like young Bo, like at 22 years old, not even 80. Yeah, 22 years old, 21, 22. And I sound like super young, because I was. So on this, I think there are 5 hits. So it's basically 90 seconds, and I tell like the little story. So like Mark Bulger was coming off a season where Kurt Warner had been injured. So Mark Bulger took over, and he played really well as the starting quarterback for the Rams. So it was basically like his and then he's going to be the backup quarterback. Pisa Tino Isamoa was a linebacker. I think he was a first-round pick. So it's Pisa Tino Isamoa, Kim Herring, who was a defensive back. I don't even remember him. J.R. Nicholas, who went to school at Western Illinois. So that was like the local flavor. J.R. Nicholas, former Leatherneck, has come home to Macomb, Rams training camp. Who else is on there? Mark Bulger, Kim Herring, Tino Isamoa, Nicholas. There's one more. I think there was 5, maybe even 6. So I'll get these uploaded. I don't know if anybody wants to listen to 20-year-old Rams training camp updates from me, but maybe. So I'll get those uploaded. I also I did not find it in that stuff, but I did find somewhere, like digging through boxes a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, a CD with all of our morning show like promos, Cooking with Bo, and those. And I was about the same age as those. They probably 2003, 2004. In those, I sound like a freaking 12-year-old. So I'll try to get those uploaded as well. What else is going on? So I haven't gone through any more of the Goodwill palette. Where's Low Roller Scratcher? I'm sure he's going to ask. No, I have not dug into, but I need to. Well, I need to just empty my car out, because I've got the card show on Sunday. So I need to empty the Goodwill palette out of my car so I can prepare for the card show. but I have not done so. What else? It was warm yesterday. Holy cow. It's warm yesterday. The new house updates, and that it was chilly in the morning. I think the rain, we had a rainstorm come in. Usually rainstorms, it's like a cold front follows. This time it was like a warm front because I had gone over and I was wearing like a heavy shirt like this, a coat. And I'd gone to the post office in the afternoon, put my jacket on. And I'm like, man, it's warm. It's like 70 degrees. Where did that come from? I think it's my computer says 64. I don't believe it because I think it was like one day of warm weather. Maybe it is 64. It's not even close to 60. It's 39 effing degrees right now. Fudge. 39 degrees, 53 the high. We're back in the 40s. So what the hell? What the hell's up with that? So I had to go over there. So my wife says, can you meet some of the cabinets are being delivered. Can you meet the movers? Don't worry, you don't have to unload. I'm like, okay. So, and I'm like, I'm going through all the what ifs now. So when I get there and something happens, I don't have to like text my wife, call my wife. Hey, now what? So I'm like, okay, I'm going through what are potential things that can cause hiccups when the cabinets arrive. Okay. So she's like, there's only 3 or 4 boxes, famous last words. Put them on the right side. I said, okay, what if there's not room? She goes, oh, there's room. And I said, what if there's not room? She's like, I was just over there. There's going to be room. Second strike. I'm like, okay. And then I can't remember what else I said. So I'm driving down to the house and I see this like huge truck on the street in front of our house. Like, what the hell? I didn't think anybody was going to be there today. Good news, bad news. Actually, it's all good news. But for this snippet in time, it was bad news. The drywall was being delivered. Now, I was under the assumption drywall wasn't going to be like delivered until, like Monday. So Thursday. So, however, they're like blocking off and they're using the garage where these cabinets are going to go. Call my wife. Hey, they're delivering the drywall. And she's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, no, they're using the space that we're putting the cabinets. Well, there's only like 3 or 4. So just, put them where they're not. I'm like, oh, okay. And the cabinets get here and I go and I'm like, you got 3 or 4. He's like, oh no, we've got like a whole truck, like a gigantic moving truck, gorilla movers filled with our cabinets. Uh-oh. Now what? So, now I have to like coordinate with the drywall and my wife's like, are they hanging the drywall today? Oh, let's not get to that. We've got a problem here. So, he's like, yeah, we still got a lot of drywall to take down to the basement. Call my wife. There's not like any room on the right side. Plus that's like where they're using the garage. And I'm like, okay. So I asked the drywall, I'm like, can we just stack it over here? It doesn't matter. We got to get these in. So, so they move it over there and I like show my, she's like, well, I guess that's the big order. I'm like, yeah, it is the big order. So, but fortunately the whoever we ordered the cabinets from, because I went back last night just to make sure everything was locked up. I opened the garage. I'm glad I went through usually I just go through the front door. I went through the garage yesterday. Oh, because I wanted, we got some rain. I wanted to make sure we didn't have any like rain seeping in through and we got a garage full of cabinets. I said, hey, all of the cabinets have been moved. She's like, oh yeah, the so-and-so, her husband came over and moved everything for us. And I'm like, oh, wow, that was really nice. So that's out of the way. Drywall starts today, which I was I had jinxed us on Monday, saying drywall was starting Monday. It did not. So it's starting today, it's like wah. Drywall's not starting Monday. It's going to start next Monday. And then all of a sudden yesterday we find out, oh no, we're starting tomorrow. Ooh. So that's where we're at there. We're going to play Name the Player today. We're going to go back to the 90s on Name That Player. I've got to get the old scoreboard out. Got to move some of these boxes around. And I played trivia last night. So before we get to the trivia, let's see what's going on in the chat. We've got Terry A in the house, Red Light 34. David Pyers is here. Jenny, what's up? It's finally Friday. Raphael, good morning. Good morning, Kyle. Any more cool Goodwill finds? Nothing as of yet. Haven't even. I went out yesterday at one point to bring some stuff in, and it had shifted. And again, it's a lot of small boxes. So I started to open the hatch, and all of a sudden it's just like an avalanche. I'm like, son of a, and I don't know how I'm going to access it because my back seat is full of shit. So it's going to be a challenge this weekend to empty my car out. Donald Davis, good morning. Red Light 34. It's rainy in Indiana. George, what's happening? Good morning, Brian. Herman is here. Harlan, what's happening? Stolen car from a gentleman's club. Not a gentleman's club. It was a nightclub. It was not a gentleman's club. Good morning, Victor. Yes, tough loss. I did not watch the game. We were at trivia. And then I just, when I got home, I didn't watch it. So hopefully they can rebound. Brian says, now think about what might happen if you wrap your vehicle saying 1 million Cubs. Yeah, that would suck. Let's see. But I probably won't get an RV. Good morning, David. It's just like it's a pipe dream I have. Red Light 34 says, if not, let me know and I will send you a USB CD DVD drive. I do have one. This computer has one, I think. Oh, maybe this one doesn't. I know I have a computer with a CD drive. Let's see. Isn't that like now it's so hard to find a CD drive or a DVD. We do not own a DVD. In fact, the laptop that has the CD drive, I think it can read DVDs. That's it. That's the only DVD player. And DVDs have only been around for 25 years. You know, we thought that was, I remember my friend Tim, his family always had the nice things. And he was the first to have a CD burner. He was the first to have whatever new PlayStation or Xbox or whatever the hell that stuff was. He was the first to have a DVD player. They were early adopters, his family. And I remember, because nobody had a DVD player in 1997 or whenever they came out. And I'm like, it's just a movie on a CD. Like, it's not going to last. It's like, well, what did CDs do to cassette tapes? I'm like, VHS is they're never going to replace VHS. Here we are. Let's see. Mark says, good morning. What's up, Mark? Halfway through sorting my 5K 1982 and have found 2 Ripken rookies. Very nice. Those are nice finds. Let's see. Where are we at? Steve Ains Comedy. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, TD Sports Cards. You got a lot of drywall to put up. Might take a couple days. Yeah, it's going to take, initially, we were told 2 days. And now it's going to be like a week, they say. There is a lot of drywall to put up. A lot of drywall. So, yeah, it's going to take, they start today, and it's probably going to, I'm guessing it's going to be the rest of, it's going to be all next week also. Good morning, Shaw Cards. Nukes Cards in the house. What's up, Alex? Red Light scraps computers for the gold, so I have extra stuff. Interesting. Michael Renicky, what's up? Scotty Dubs in the house. So I played bar trivia last night. My buddy texted me. He's like, hey, I'm free for trivia tonight. So we went to World of Beer for a little bar trivia. We got there. Trivia starts at 7. They have happy hour until 7. So I was drinking a Dovetail Hefeweizen, and that was on the happy hour menu, and it's $6.56, and I'm like, usually at like usually they're like, you need another, like, hey, let's slow down here, but I'm completely empty, and the bartender is nowhere to be seen. So I joked to my buddy, I'm like, she's avoiding us because it's 6:56. I bet she comes around at 7:01. So he's like, oh no. He's like, we're getting another happy hour beer before it ends. So he like waves her down. He's like, hey, we just want to, whenever you're ready, we just want to make sure we order it before 7 so we get it on the happy hour and save like the $1 or whatever it is. So save $2. So we got our happy hour beers. So we played bar trivia. We kind of sucked. It was just two of us. Like there's teams, the team next to us, I think, won, but they had like 7 people on their team. It's hard to go up against those bigger teams when there's just 2 of you. And so, plus, like when I played regularly, bar trivia regularly, we had a team of, usually sometimes there was only 3 of us. Sometimes there was 6 of us. A couple times there was like 7 or 8 of us. And it was usually when we had like 6, 7, 8, that's when we won or got second placed. So just 2 of us. But also, it matters like what your strengths are. So me and my buddy Mark, we have kind of similar, like he would do good in a Star Wars category. Like I don't know anything. We had Harry Potter was a category last night. Neither of us are into Harry Potter. Both of us are into sports. We kind of have the same like trivia knowledge on certain categories. And that's got my trivia team that when we played regularly, we're all like 40, all the same age. The teams that always win, they have like a nice mix of ages where they have like a millennial who knows like stuff that happened in the 2000s. Like my trivia knowledge, I'm super good at 80s and 90s. But once like 2002 comes around, I don't remember shit. Like, I don't know, like, pop culture from, like, which I should because I worked in morning radio from, like, 03 to 08. But I just, like, blocked it out of my memory, I guess. So, yeah, it's key. Have, like, a millennial, have your 40-year-olds, and then have, like, an old person that knows, like, the 60s and 70s stuff. I should say older. So here's some of the questions we can play along. If I can remember the questions, because I didn't write everything down. Let's see. The very first question last night. What's up, Sal Dougie? Animated TV was the category. The question was on Futurama, which I did not watch. So this, and I don't think Mark did either. On Futurama, Zach Brannigan's character's sidekick was named. What was their name? So, not watching Futurama, I remember some of the characters, and I'm like, oh, I think it's the robot. So, does anybody know? I might have tipped it away. It was not the robot, named Bender, and the answer was Kif. Was Kif so my buddy said, oh, it's either the robot or the orange-haired girl. And I'm like, I have no idea what her name was. Kif was the answer, and I don't know who that actually is. This was a good one. The very second question was on football. 2 running backs in the NFL led the league in rushing 4 times each between 1990 and 1997. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. I had 2 names pop right in. I had 2 names, and they're probably the same 2 names you're thinking of. And my buddy's like, I don't know. This could be a gotcha question where it's like the answer seems so obvious, but it's not. So Michael Renicky had the same 2 names that I came up with and that Mark came up with. Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders. It was not a gotcha. That is correct. Yes. Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith were the two running backs that each led the league 4 times between 1990 and 1997. What else did we have? Literature, which is typically a category I do not know the answers to, somehow pulled one out of my ass. The 1972 novel, which featured a group of rabbits, was the first book written by, I think, Richard Adams. And I remember this movie because it was like a effed up movie. You think it's like because it's a cartoon, and you think it's like this sweet little bunny rabbit movie. No, it's not. It's terrible. Don't let your kids watch Watership Down. Terry knew it. I pulled that one out of my ass. Like, I'm like, oh, it's something down. It's like water something down. Water, is it Watership Down? Watership Down. Yes. Let's see. What else? Band 8. I don't remember that. This was another one. What's up, Card Hobbyist? Good morning. Uncle Rich is here. Tone B, 33. Kiff, yes. Flags was the category. In the category of flags, which is the only state flag to feature a president? So we're going through, and I'm like, well, I know it's not California because they've got the bear, right? And I don't even know what the Wisconsin flag looks like. My buddy's like, it's not Wisconsin. And I'm like, oh, I think I know it. For whatever reason, I thought the Illinois flag featured Abraham Lincoln. Apparently it does not, because that was not the correct answer. Terry needs to come out to Madison and play trivia with us. Terry knew Washington. Yes, and guess who it is? It is George Washington on the Washington state flag. Yes, Washington was the correct answer. We did not know. There was a Harry Potter category. Don't know the question. Don't know the answer. I tuned that one out. I think my answer that I plugged in, like as soon as he asked the question, I look at Mark, he's like, I have no idea. Harry Potter sucks was the answer. Submit 1 point. Moving on. Classic music was the next, and I apologize because I know Uncle Rich would have loved to known which trivia question that was. We got it right. So in the first round, we ended up we did end up with 4 right. We only got 4 of the 9 correct. But 3 of the 4 were the 5-point question because you can go 1, 3, 5. So we had 5 points. We got all of our 5-point questions, and then Watership Down was our 1 point. The halftime question. Was doctors, and this was super easy. I think y'all gonna get this in the category of doctors. You have to name the 4 doctors. The first one was had a show. He was featured as he had his own segment on the Oprah show, and then went on to have his own show. Second one was I think a founder of NWA. Third one was basketball player for the Philadelphia 76ers. And the last one was Waco, Texas. I can't remember the guy's name, but invented something in Waco, Texas in 1885. So as soon as he had these, I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And my buddy's like, well, you got the hard one. I'm like, well, which one was the hard one? He's like, the last one. So I see a lot of Oz, not Dr. Oz. Now, Oz was featured on Oprah, but not in like a standalone segment. I do see a couple correct answers. It was Dr. Phil. Let's see. Y'all knew Dr. Dre. Y'all knew Dr. J. And Dr. Pepper, yes. What's up, Brian Baker in the house? So, yeah, it was Dr. Phil, Dr. Dre, Dr. J, and Dr. Pepper. So we got all 8 of those. Let's see. Second half, I should say. My wife's like, why do you bring that home? It's like, so I can talk about it in the morning. MD Sports Cards, what's happening? Let's see. So second half. Damn it, I didn't write the there was another music. And I don't, did I write maybe the answer down on the back? Let's see. I guess not. What's this? Gospel music. Spirit within people. Oh, that was another question. Okay, so I don't remember that one. Movies. The very first movie tipped me off. And I can't have, he named 3 movies, and I didn't even write the third one down because I knew it after the first. Which country did the following 3 movies were they set in? Which country were they set? 3 Amigos, From Dusk Till Dawn, and some other movie. I knew this right away because of my love for Steve Martin, and I love 3 Amigos. Everybody knows it was Mexico. Yes. So that was a gimme. Here's a baseball question. In the category of baseball, which team defeated the Texas Rangers for the World Series in 2010? Now, I knew this because of this team was only winning in the even years. They would win the World Series in 2010, again in 2012, and then again in 2014. Yes, Mark and TD Sports Cards. It was the San Francisco Giants. Yes. Let's see. The music. I did write the music. The music question, and I don't think Uncle Rich is going to get this. The music question was, which 2000s indie rock band performed or did the songs Dear Science, Return to Cookie Mountain, and Seeds? Rich says that's way too new for me. Yeah, it was way too new for me. I'm like, geez, I don't know. Like, I really don't know indie. Return to Cookie Mountain. TV on the Radio was the indie rock group. TV on the Radio. Never even heard of them. Terry says I don't know any of those songs. Yeah, I don't think many people in the room did. Let's see. What else did we have? Oh, world history from 1987 to 2005. Orphans from this country going through a civil war were nicknamed Lost Boys. So my buddy worked for, was it NATO? I don't know if Mark's watching or not, but he worked in Belgium for I think it was NATO. Is NATO in Belgium? But so he's very worldly. And we both were kind of on the same page. I'm like, it's got to be an Eastern European nation. So my first thought was Serbia. It's like, what other, like there was a lot of civil war in like Serbia, Kosovo, like that region. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I think it's Africa. And I'm like, was it Rwanda? But I couldn't, I'm like, so I wrote Serbia, which was wrong. It was in Africa, and I saw the correct answer in the chat. Mookie knew it. Yes, it was the Sudan. The Sudan was the correct answer. Rich says I'm old but not dead. Mark says I'm still seeing Selma Hayek when you mentioned From Dusk Till Dawn. Let's see. Terry says I watched a documentary on the Lost Boys. That's what I was thinking. There was a documentary on the Lost Boys on something. Mookie says Manute Bol used to do all kinds of fundraising for the Lost Boys of Sudan. Interesting. Very nice. Interesting. Okay. Marvel was the question. Marvel was the category. What was, I think Elizabeth Olsen's character in the Marvel universe. We did not know that. I do not know anything Marvel. Let's see. I'm sure somebody's going to pop it in the chat. Somebody's going to know. Scarlet. There you go. Thank you. So we did not get that right. Man, everybody, I'm the only one that doesn't know Marvel. So that was okay. So last round we've got this one threw me off. TV, the TV show Fresh Off the Boat was set in which Florida city? So a city came to mind, like boom. I don't watch Fresh Off the Boat. I'm sure somebody in here does. So this one threw me off because I'm thinking, oh, it's got to be this city, but maybe, and I'm like, well, maybe it's like Key West or something. My guess was Miami, which was not correct. I see the answer in the chat. Yes, Orlando. I'm like, Fresh Off the Boat, Orlando's like centrally located. So Orlando is the correct answer. Yes, Terry and Steve. New Orlando. Which came first in film? Oh, this was easy. This was which came first? The let's see. Cobra Starship or the Dojo Cobra Kai? Which came first? And I think we got this correct, but I think it was like a trick question because of the TV show Cobra Kai. But it was the Cobra Kai Dojo from the movie, the 1984 film Karate Kid, which came out long before the group Cobra Starship. Cobra was the Cobra Kai Dojo was the correct answer to that. So that was our trivia, and then we had final trivia. So there were 19 teams playing trivia last night, 19 teams. So we were in, let's see. We were in 1980. We were in 17th place at halftime out of 19. We were also in 17th place out of 19 going into the final question. The final question, in order of domestic box office totals, highest to lowest, these movies: Wakanda Forever, The Batman, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Top Gun Maverick, in order highest to lowest domestic box office. So we, on this question, how we used to approach our final questions when we had multiple players and we didn't know, because typically these are the type of questions they ask on Final Jeopardy, Final Bar Trivia. So what we would do is we would each, without looking at others or discussing what we thought, before we discussed, we would each write down the order in which we thought, and then we would discuss. So we didn't want to have any outside influencing our results. And after discussion, if we still had no idea, we would take the average. We would take the average of the four, and that actually worked several times. We would get it correct and win. Maybe not win, but get in the top three. So we've got some results, some answers coming in. Let's see. Big Harv says Top Gun, Wakanda, Sonic, and the other one. That is incorrect. Card Hobbyist says Top Gun, Sonic 2, Wakanda, and the Batman. That is also incorrect. Brock has Wakanda, Top Gun, Sonic, and Batman. Also incorrect. So Mark's order, he had Wakanda, Top Gun, Sonic, and Batman. My order was Top Gun, Wakanda, Batman, Sonic. So we shared our results, and he looks at mine, I look at his, and he's like, and so now we discuss. So my thought was Top Gun. Like everybody I knew went and watched Top Gun. And then I said, but I haven't seen it. And Mark goes, well, I haven't seen it either. Okay. But I'm like, I think Top. He's like, okay. He's like, because so we had each of he's like, I'm pretty sure they're in these two groupings. So Top Gun and Wakanda are 1 and 2, one way or the other. Batman and Sonic are the 3 and 4, one way or the other. So I'm like, I'm going to go Top Gun. I think, and he goes, yeah. And he's like, I'm good as long as we have this order and, I'm good. So we went with my order: Top Gun, Wakanda, Batman, Sonic. That was the correct order. Top Gun Maverick, Wakanda Forever, The Batman, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That was the correct order. Domestic box office, highest to lowest. So we got all 15 points, and we moved up to 12th place out of 19. So not bad for just two dumb guys that don't know Harry Potter or 2000s indie rock. Or what else didn't we know? We didn't know a lot. We didn't know science. We didn't know Futurama. We didn't know Harry Potter. We didn't know flags. We didn't know Fresh Off the Boat TV or world history or quotes or Marvel. So that was trivia, bar trivia. Fun times. So that's all I have to talk about. Was two dumb guys your team name. So our team name, which dates back to, which is just a trivia team name I've kept since 2015, 14, so like 8 years. It used to be, bar trivia, my genesis of bar trivia started with another couple who have since have two kids, and they're like walking around and talking and stuff now. It's like, wow, remember when we used to go out with, you didn't have any kids, we didn't have any kids, we're never having kids, and we could just go to bar trivia every week. So it started with my wife and I and another couple friend, so my friend came up with the name because at the time, it must have been 2015, going into the 2016 elections. There was a comedian who was putting up billboards, like running for president, like fake running for president. And so like some of his, and we're in Wisconsin, so some of his like topics, this is all tongue in cheek, fake, just for funnies, was build a wall, because remember, that was the big political thing back in 2016, build a wall along Mexico. So this guy wanted to build a wall at the border of Wisconsin and Illinois to keep the fibs out. Build a wall, keep the fibs out. And that was a billboard here in Madison on the Beltline. It's just a joke. So my buddy's like, keep the fibs out is the perfect trivia name. So we've just rolled with keep, and it was a kind of a play on, I'm from Illinois. I'm a fib. My wife lived in Illinois. She was in Chicago for like 3 years. Dave, who came up with the name, went to school at U of I. His wife's also a fib. She's from Chicago and they met at U of I. So Michael says, joke, keep those fibs out. So build a wall, keep the fibs out. So keep the fibs out is our trivia team name. The only time, it was actually Dave who came up with that name, and we've rolled with it ever since. One night, and we were probably doing Hobby Evolution because it was just a year or two ago. My wife holds these, and she got this from Oprah, favorite things parties. So she holds these favorite things parties. The wives come over, so I get the hell out. We play bar trivia. It was just me and Dave. And we went down to like campus, the World of Beer trivia, where I had pulled in, and it was closed for a private Christmas party. So I called Dave. I'm like, dude, World of Beer's closed for a private Christmas party. Let's go. There's only like one other like nearby that we can get to by 7. Otherwise, we have to wait till 8. It's down on what street is it? It's like it's right in the center of UW. And he's like, oh, let's go over there. And so we get there and we get carded at the door. Like, what the hell? I go to order, I think it was like, I don't know, $4 pitchers of Coors Light or something. And I'm like, I'll take a Coors Light. And or maybe it was Bud. I don't know what it was. It was Coors Light, Bud Light. I don't know. I don't drink Miller Lite, so it wasn't Miller Lite. So whatever it was, like, I'll take a Bud Light. And He goes, pitcher? And I'm like, no. He goes, well, what do you want then? I'm like, I don't know, a bottle? I'll take a can. I don't know. I don't want a pitcher. And then trivia players came in and they were all like 19. So Dave and I decided to switch it up, and we changed our name to the Two Old Guys because we were the oldest participants in bar trivia down on the UW campus at whatever bar that was that we got carded at. I'll take a Bud Light. A pitcher? No. Well, what do you want then? A bottle. Sierra Leone. Explain the term fib to us. Michael says friendly Illinois brother. Hey, I like that. Yeah, friendly Illinois brother. It is not friendly Illinois brother. So fib is not an endearing term. It's the F word that I won't say. Illinois bastards. That's what a fib is. Effing Illinois bastards. Keep them out. Build a wall. Keep the Illinois bastards out. The effing Illinois bastards. And the F word ain't friendly. So that's what a fib is. So we're 46 minutes in. I think it's a good time to start. Name that player. We're going to go back to the 90s. I'm going to let you decide. We're going to go back to, it appears, 1991 on both of these options. Yep, it is. 1991 is the year. Are we going to play with 1991 Leaf or a fun set 1991 Studio? Sorry, Phil. Studio or Leaf? What do you want to go with? While you decide and type in your answers, I will go get the scoreboard. Let me move some boxes around. Studio. Looks like it's a runaway. Rich says Studio has some really cool photos. Studio for sure. Studio. Phil Collins. Studio. I think that's probably what I thought when I was a kid when that came out. Okay, make sure this is... All right, so here's the scoreboard. Here's where we're at. So who do we got at the top? Scotty Dubs. First place, 16 points. A tie for second, Nick and Card Hobbyist with 11 points apiece. Flipping Sports Guy. Haven't seen him this morning. He's got 6. Terry McDaniel, Uncle Rich with 3 points each, and we've got a bunch of players with 1 point. Mookie, Boyhood Breaks, Flawed Thinker, Sal Dougie, Minneapolis Kid, and Travis Bogart. 1 point apiece. So let's, without further ado, Leaf, Inc., Bannockburn, Illinois. This unique limited edition... Oh, wait, yeah. This unique limited edition set features striking black and white photographs that capture the character and intensity of 260 of today's top stars and rookies, with profiles that rise above mere statistics to give you insights into the personal side of baseball's most colorful characters. And they nailed it with 1991 Studio. Yes, colorful is a great term for some of these cards. I didn't realize Leaf had puzzles, or what the hell did I just do? I didn't realize Studio had puzzles. Rod Carew. Interesting. Okay. 91 Studio. Oh, wait. Somebody said they can see when I do that. All right. First one's an easy one. Name that player. Who is it? His hero is his dad, Bud. Uncle Rich with Jobinson. It's not Jobinson, but we'll give Uncle Rich the point. He's got the fastest fingers down in Dallas. The fastest fingers in Dallas. Uncle Rich Klein. Randy Johnson, the big unit. We'll give the point to Uncle Rich. Uncle Rich. Okay. Next up. Oh, this is going to be a more of a challenge. This will be a challenge. His hero is Roberto Clemente. Wow, you guys are good. Mookie Chilson is the fastest fingers. Jose Lind. Yeah, Scotty Dubs knew it. Card Hobbyist knew it. Mookie was the fastest. Mookie has 2 points. This is fun. I don't know if I have any more studio packs. I think I might have another one. We'll have to play this again. Okay, here we go. I think we're going to go back to the 80s next week. Who's this guy? His heroes are Willie Mays, Dusty Baker, and Davey Lopes. Card Hobbyist is the fastest fingers on Terry Pendleton. Yes. Who got Pendleton first? Card Hobbyist with Terry Pendleton. Card Hobbyist is playing catch up. We got Scotty Dubs at 16. Card Hobbyist now with 12. Michael says, you guys are fast. I know. Jenny says, does the back say that, or do I just know it? I'm just making shit up. All right. This guy's hero is Andre Dawson. They've got some good stuff. Also, he enjoys fishing and drawing. Card Hobbyist knows his studio. Marquise Grissom. Yes. You know, fun fact about Marquise Grissom. Let me put the point down before I forget. Card Hobbyist. Playing catch up here. 13. Fun fact about Marquise Grissom and me as a Cubs fan. He has a Chicago Cubs card, but he never played for the Cubs. He was actually like a non-roster invitee to spring training, I think in like 08, somewhere around there, somewhere in the mid 2000s. And he got like an insert card in one of the top sets. And I'm like, when did Grissom play for the Cubs? And I looked it up and he didn't play for the Cubs. So then I had to do a little, research, and lo and behold, he was a non-roster invitee, but didn't break camp with the team. Didn't even play in the minor leagues with them. Who's this guy? His hero's Joe Morgan. Kenny Lofton is a good answer, but it's not correct. Dan, all the way from Korea. Nailed it. Dan, Korean cardboard. You got it. Bip. Mr. Bip Roberts. His hobbies and interests include animals, rhythm and blues music, and his favorite TV show is Cheers. Dan is on the board. Got to write you down on the board. Cardboard. All right. This is fun. And it's also fun. We're like spreading the wealth. It's not one person just nailing every one. We've got a nice balance today. All right. 1991 studio. Who's this guy? Who are his heroes? Jesus is his hero. Wally, not Wally. Parrish is correct. Uncle Rich. Uncle Rich gets Parrish. Making a run at Scotty Dubs. Scotty Dubs, your internet's not as fast today. Where's Uncle Rich got Parrish. So he's at 5 points. We got Dan and Korea with a point. Uncle Rich had a comment. Oh, Parrish. Uncle Rich had a comment. He and Tony Gwynn did a hilarious baseball card commercial in 1996. Interesting. Let's see. Michael thought he got it. No. Michael, you were on Parrish. You were way down there. You did get it correct, but you just didn't get it faster than anyone else. Uncle Rich was first. Scotty Dubs was second. Mookie had a lot. I think he meant Parrish. And then Michael came in. Let's see. Michael, it's how it appears on the screen. Happens to me all the time. Dan finally gets it. Dan finally gets it. Here we are. Hero Walter Payton. His hobbies and interests include fishing, tennis, and golf. He enjoys watching The Cosby Show in a different world. It is Scotty Dubs, first to get it. Greg Vaughn. Greg Vaughn. Scotty Dubs, the fastest fingers. And he has 17 points. So Scotty Dubs with 17. Card Hobbyist with 13. Nick, who I don't believe is here today, has 11. We're down to 3 cards remaining. This guy loves his bat. Loves his bat. Who's his hero? Roberto Clemente. His hobbies and interests include basketball, enjoys listening to salsa music, and watches sports on television. He's also a Chicago Bulls fan. Yes, many of you know this is Ruben Sierra, who had the fastest fingers. Uncle Rich Klein once again, the fastest fingers in Dallas. Uncle Rich. Playing catch up here. 6 points. 2 to go. 2 to go. 2 to go. Uncle Rich says that's a hometown helper. Who's this guy? This might be that 70s card show John Keating because his hero is Steve Garvey. Steve Garvey. His favorite TV shows are The Smurfs and The Flintstones. Mark Whitten is correct, and Bink Scott. Bink Scott is on the board with Mark hitting Mark Whitten. Bink Scott. And that's your first point. Bink Scott with a point. All right, are we down to 1 to go? Hard hitting Mark Whitten. Terry says, can you see my guesses? I can. You said Wittoon, which I would have taken, but you were just behind. You were second on my screen behind Bink Scott. Let's see. And Uncle Rich confirms, second on his screen. All right, next up, this is our last one. This is our last for the week. Oh, he's got, and we end this on an interesting note. His hero, a lot of people have been influential to him, especially his dad. That's good. I like it. Mookie Chilson was the fastest finger. It was Mr. Steve Sachs. Steve Sachs, Mookie Chilson with the point. And you have 3. So, updated standings, we've got Scotty Dubs in first with 17 points. Card Hobbyist with 13 points. Nick with 11. We've got a tie with 6 points each, Uncle Rich and the Flipping Sports Guy. 3 points apiece for Mookie Chilson and Terry McDaniel. And 1 point for Boyhood Breaks, Flawed Thinker, Sal Dougie, Minneapolis Kid, Travis Bogart, Korean Cardboard, and Bink Scott. So I think we're going to go back to the 80s next week with a fun set on Name That Player. Epic Sax Guy. See, that's a case where that shows up first on my screen, but not on Bo's. Dan said I was first on my screen. Love those OG Studio. That was a fun set. 91 Studio. And those, by the way, for those selling on eBay, selling low dollar cards, 91 Studio. That's why sometimes I just throw them on the floor and they get thrown away from Name That Player. I know it's a sin. It's a sin in the hobby to throw cards away, but I just have too many sometimes. So, but 91 Studio, I set these aside because these sell well. You know, Randy Johnson, I think that will move. But sometimes it's guys like Bip Roberts that it's like, why is Bip Roberts selling? You get the funny photos, Ruben Sierra. We didn't pull any of the really fun pictures like the parrot. Who had the parrot? Uncle Rich knows. The parrot on the Steve Lake. Steve Lake had the parrot. So that's what I had for today. Happy Friday. What else is going on? I will go live tomorrow morning. Typical Saturday time, probably between 8 and 9 a.m. Uncle Rich, I might go on a little earlier. I think I went on a little early last Saturday and a little late on Sunday. So I will not go live on Sunday because I'll be at the Janesville Card Show. So if you're in the area, come see me in Janesville on Sunday. Let's see. Card Hobbyist loves the Ozzie Smith from 91 Studio hiding his face behind his glove. That's a great image. That is a great image. Dan has a double header tomorrow. Need to win both. Good luck to Dan in his double header. Thank you, Mookie Chilson. Appreciate it. By the way, if you haven't already, jump on into the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. We're at 196 members. Where are we at? Copy that link. There we go. Facebook group. Check it out. 196 members. We've got some great discussion going on over there. eBay store link in the description. I added I forgot. I said I added like 200 Bowman U pink chrome refractors and chrome refractors to my store. I think I only did 100 on Wednesday because I was in the middle of the second batch when I went to go pick up the pallet. So those have been selling, and I didn't comp any of them. I'm like, I'm going to put them all for $2. Like CJ Stroud, I think I put for $5. It sold. Some others I put for like $3 or $4. They sold. So a lot of those have been moving. So Bowman U, little tip, Bowman U has been selling. At least the pink chrome refractors and the chrome refractors have been moving. The NFL draft is a week away. Next Thursday is the first round. So get those Bowman U out. I think I have another box with refractors, so I'll have to go find that wherever the hell I put it. So I'm excited. We'll do a mock draft. If you're into the NFL draft, next Thursday morning, I'll probably do a mock draft special here on Hobby Evolution because I love drafts. And especially with the Chicago Bears having some picks, and a high pick. I'm very intrigued by what's going to happen. And it's not like there's no like slam dunk number one overall picks. Like it's still, I see a lot of mock drafts, Bryce Young or CJ Stroud to number one. There's still a lot of trade potential in the top 5. You've got Jalen Carter. Is he going to slide because of his off the field stuff? Who's going to be available at 9 for the Bears? Is Paris Johnson the tackle from Ohio State? Will it be Peter Skoronski from Northwestern? So I'm very intrigued. And I've been doing a lot of like 7-round mock drafts. There are some mock draft generators that are a lot of fun. We'll see how accurate those are. So we'll do a mock draft, NFL draft special next Thursday. If you're not into that sort of thing, might be a day to tune out. I don't know. So that's what we'll do next week. So with that, I'm going to do some shipping, and I want to do some listing today as well. So I think I've got some early 80s that we had a great set today on Name That Player 91 Studio. Coming to my eBay store later today will be a set with some really shitty photographs. 1981 Donruss. I've got a bunch of 81 Donruss and some of those early Donruss Fleer that I'll be listing in my eBay store. A lot of commons, some stars. So those will be coming to the eBay store. Check out the link in the description. Facebook page. Check it out. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We fell way short. We were on a roll this week. 89 record setting on Wednesday. 92, the new record set yesterday. And I think we failed to hit 60 today. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 82 Fleer was worse. Yeah, we're down to under 40. So we're going to wrap it up. So have a great Friday. We'll be back on it tomorrow morning between 8 and 9 a.m. See you then.